Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to the National Clarion Team Time Trial Championships. Good morning, Lee.
Morning, Dan.
You okay?
Yeah, not too bad.
Good. An hour to go and you're all skin suited up ready?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I do like it. Dean, good morning.
Morning.
Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Good. So, this is 2/3 of the team that took part in the National Team Time Trial Championships, the CTT Nationals, a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, we have lost Matt. He is pursuing time trialing a bit more seriously this year, so he's gone to chase a fast 10-mile time on a fast course. I hope he has a good ride today. So Dean has very kindly stepped in. Dean, we would quite literally not be able to do this event without you today, so thank you very much. I know it's hard just stepping into a team time trial when we've not ridden it together before, so we really appreciate it.
I suppose we've got a little bit of Matt here though.
Yes, we have. Lee, do you want to explain what happened to your bike setup?
Yeah, I went in the garage to find my 808 in a puddle of sealant on the garage floor, and Matt has very kindly lent me a 404.
Now, I did offer Lee a 404 front wheel, and you turned it down, Lee. Why?
It didn't have a tan sidewall. It's just a little bit cooler, this one, and it matches my back. So
at the Via Jelly KOM yesterday, Lee just took it off of Matt's bike,
wrestled it from his arms,
said I'm borrowing this. So, yeah. So the course today is 25 miles. It's 2 and a bit laps of the 11.2 mile course, which Lee rode 2 weeks ago and Dean, you rode last week.
Yep.
So you both know the course. I think I've ridden the course maybe 50 times. I used to live right on the course, so I used to just go around it quite often. My mum lives on the course, and I messaged her this morning, "Hi Mum, I'm doing a race this morning, going past your house twice. Do you want to come out and clap or something?" And she said, "Well, I don't know, it's quite hot, so I'll see."
Oh.
I know. I'm just the disappointment of the family.
There's no banners hanging out the windows or anything.
No, exactly. It's forecast quite hot today, and I am particularly concerned about the heat. Lee is not at all concerned about the heat. Dean, are you concerned about the heat or not? No. I think it's just me.
We'll be pretty fast, so there'll be a nice wind on.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I've got lots of cooling things in mind. I've got a bottle of water on the bike. I'm going to have some carb mix in a bladder on my frame. I'm going to stay really cool before the start is the plan, because I really don't want to get too hot and blow up. I'm probably not even going to do a decent warm-up. So yeah, let's get numbers pinned on. Let's get ready to rock and roll. There's 15 teams in it today, so we could be in the mix. We don't really know, but we're just going to give it a best shot, aren't we?
Smash it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it, yeah.
Good. Okay, so my bike is pretty much unchanged from the last time I rode it, which was the National Team Time Trial Championships about 2 months ago, other than a couple of small areas which are like heat specific. So I've put on a bottle cage on my frame. I'm going to be taking a bottle of chilled water just to tip on myself if I need it during the race. I know that isn't fast, I know that loses watts, etc. But I'll tell you what also isn't fast, me absolutely blowing up and being red hot. I don't perform well in the heat, so I need to go above and beyond what normal people would do. I've also got my bladder in the frame, which I'm going to put some carb mix in. It'd probably be good to have a drink over, an hour or so event anyway, but that's also chilled. That will be in there and put in with about 5 minutes to go, so at the last minute, so it's nice and cool. What else have I done? I've got 2 lights on the rear, just because there's not really any aero penalty for that, and if one stops working, we're at a national champs, I don't want to not start or let the team down because of a light. I've also got my front light on. I know that's not ideal, that's not optimised, but it is what it is. And I think that is about ready to go. I've got a freshly waxed NRG waxed chain on. I've bedded it in for about 10 miles or so yesterday, just spun it around a lot. I think that is it. Ready to roll. I feel ready. I feel like I know the course well. I feel like I'm pretty fresh. We just need to deliver a well-paced ride and deal with our new team dynamic of having Dean in the group instead of Matt. But you know what? I think we'll be absolutely fine. I've got about 15-20 minutes before we're going to set off from here, so I'm going to get in the car, in the shade, get changed, but sit and just stay cool as I can. I'm also going to put some water on myself before we start on my skin suit, just so it's wet and so that I am cooler. When the wind hits it, I'll stay nice and cool. Let's go. See you on the other side. Okay, we're going to talk about how the ride went when Lee's just come out from the toilet, but it was not without its challenges, as is always the case. That is not ideal. That was about a mile and a half from the finish, and of course, that made it a little bit difficult to do a team time trial, but managed to get around, and I don't think we lost too much time. We don't know the result yet. We're going to go and look in a minute, so let's catch up with the guys. All right, so we don't know what the results are yet, but we've made sure that Lee and Dean have got the tops off in the car park just to let people know what we're about. How did the ride go, chaps?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Glitter all over you.
I know.
Are we going to tell people why that is, or we're just going to leave it?
Well, it's on purpose. It was for yesterday's video.
Got it, of course. Come on, lads, how was it?
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Good, yeah.
Yeah. It's always challenging for everyone to get everything out, but I think we got as close as we dare, I suppose.
we've done a bit of testing, well you and Dean did a couple of weeks ago, and obviously Dean is absolutely stacked, so he's not as aero as perhaps Lee and I. So Dean, you sat in for the first half a lap, 2/3 of a lap, and we said we were going to play it by ear, yeah. And then you started pulling through, and actually you were really strong. We could have perhaps used you earlier, but we didn't know that. We took it in turns fairly evenly. We were pretty good around the corners, I thought. We were taking it easy, and we'd stretch out in the corners, but I think we would do anyway, because nobody wants to be right on somebody's wheel, do we? On that real tight chicane on my first lap, I nearly went into you. I was really close, so that gave me a bit of a shock for the next one. And then with about half a lap to go, Lee came past, and the words were music to our ears, weren't they? He said, "I'm feeling really good," which is good to hear. It's also not good to hear when you're on the ropes like I was. So Lee took the lion's share of the work from there on in. And
it was a good finish. Yeah.
You never know how it's going to pan out,
No,
do
of course
you?
you
If
don't.
I'd have started working straight away, I might have blown up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you hadn't have pulled through later on, I might have blown up as well. I was already like on the edge, so I think we delivered as good a ride as we could have done.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nobody got dropped. We didn't have any fallings out.
You didn't die in the heat.
No, there was a combine harvester that was spraying straw all over the road, wasn't it? And
You talked about your bike though.
I've given him a little sneak peek. That was about just coming into Tuxford on the last lap. I've not even investigated what happened, but that was not ideal, was it? But fortunately, it was where it was. We weren't going that fast. I could just sit up on the hoods and sit on. I shouted "hold," but I'm okay, or something like that, didn't I? It's really confusing. So.
Yeah, and Matt's 404 still in one piece.
Yeah,
so that's good.
I went over a pothole. I shouted "pothole," then I just heard Lee go "ugh," and I thought, oh, it's okay, he's got Matt's front wheel on. Brilliant. All right, well, let's go and see what the results are, shall we?
Beautiful, you are.
Wicked. Well done, guys.
Third team overall, who also donated a couple of marshals as well, which is Kath and Dave Smith of Sleaford Wheelers. This is your question. So third team was 57.35. First composite team was 59.25. Ladies team won 19.36. Calder youth team just scraped inside evens, won 14.33. Calder Clarion A team won 150. And then we get on to the second team overall, which is Nottingham Clarion, with a storming 55.07. And then fastest team, almost no surprise, but I noticed these guys pushed them quite much closer than I thought they would do. So the fastest team was South Normanton. 54.43, so I see those training rides that we've done around here well done, and just one last award, unfortunately can't